Hello guys. Chelsea ended a brief pre-season section with a commanding 4-1 victory over AC Milan. In this video, I'll be bringing you the match review between Chelsea and AC Milan that went down last night. But before I go into details, by giving you my own analysis of what I observed from the match, let me first of all apologize to my fans out there, everyone that watches my video each time I dropped one. In the preview prior to this, I actually promised I was going to make the review immediately after the match. But due to circumstances, I couldn't make it that early. I'm so sorry, this video is coming very late. Okay, let's dive into it. Chelsea have ended their preseason. It was a brief one, and it was ended on a good note. In a commanding way, defeating AC Milan at Stamford Bridge by 4-1. So let's look at how Enzo Maresca actually lined up with the players that actually got the job done. In my preview, I was almost spot on in my predicted starting 11 compared to what Enzo Maresca actually presented. I missed out on in place of Tosin Adarabioyo, I actually went for Joao Pedro to fill the left centre back, and in the right wing forward, I actually went for Estevao William, and Enzo Maresca actually picked Pedro to start the game. So let's look at the starting 11 Enzo Maresca made for that friendly match against AC Milan. In goal was Robert Sanchez. At the right back was the team captain, Reece James. The centre backs, Enzo Maresca picked Trevoh Chalobah and Tosin Adarabioyo. And the left back, the ever-present Marc Cucurella. In the middle of the pack was Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo. The three attacking midfielders was Jimmy Gittins, Gopama in the middle, and Pedro Neto at the right flank. And up front was Joao Pedro. Chelsea began the game with an emphatic presence, pressing from the beginning of the game to the final minute of the game. Chelsea started the game on a very high note, pressing AC Milan and pushing them backward in an attacking fashion that AC Milan themselves couldn't understand. And in the 5th minute, Jimmy Gittins was brought down almost at the right corner flank of AC Milan, and the team captain, Reece James, stepped forward, took the free kick, and it was actually into the net, deflected into the net by Andre Kubius, and that was counted for an own goal, and that actually sparked the game for Chelsea Football Club, and they immediately took charge and control of the game. In the 8th minute, the Pedro's goal was created. And when I say the Pedro's goal, Pedro Neto swing in a wonderful pull-out, and that was connected by Joao Pedro with a superb heading into the net. And within 8 minutes, Chelsea was already 2 goals up. And the game continued much in the first half as it was. Chelsea in total control of the game, pressing and kept going forward, while AC Milan was pushed backward to the defensive side. But Chelsea never lose focus while they keep control of the game. In the 67th minute into the second half, Chelsea won a penalty kick by Estevao William, and Liam Delap stepped forward confidently and converted it into the net. And at the 70th minute, AC Milan pulled one back through Yusuf Fofana, and at that point it was 3-1. And in the 90th minute, Liam Delap smashed a wonderful finish, and into the net it was 4-1. Liam Delap got a brace, opening his Chelsea account with a brace in a friendly match against AC Milan. Now, it was a preseason friendly, as many might actually say. But the result might not have been very much important. What was very much important is how Chelsea actually played the game. So now, let's take a look at the footage of the players. Now, if you look at this map presented here, if you look at how Chelsea was playing, Chelsea was pressing high from start to finish, and Chelsea actually took total control of the game. Now, take a look at the center line where the players are. You will see jersey number 4, jersey number 24, and jersey number 23, and jersey number 25 in the cycle. Those were Chelsea defensive-minded players. Talking about Tosin Adarabioyo, talking about Reece James at the right side, and also Trevoh Chalobah, who happened to be at the left side. When Chelsea were going forward, the 4-2-3-1 formation automatically has switched to become a 3-5-2 formation with Marc Cucurella having his presence being felt as an attacking player. It was wonderful to see Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella is one player that, when you take a look at how he plays his game, you will always be amazed at his improvement. Currently, I can tell you, Marc Cucurella is arguably the best left back in the world of football. He understands the tactical play of Enzo Maresca, and whenever he's in the field of play, he does his job cleanly and excellently. Now, let's take a look at the player's performance, because I don't want this video to be too long. We're going to look at the player's performance one after the other. Now, talking about Reece James, how he plays. If you watch Reece James in the right flank of the game, Reece James actually had his presence. Reece James actually had his presence felt in the right side of the pitch. He was sharp, confident, courageous on the ball, and one remarkable thing was the free kick he actually played, which was won after Jimmy Gittin was fouled, and Reece James was absolutely amazing in the game yesterday. And if you take a look at the map, at the heat map of Reece James, you actually know that Reece James' presence was actually well felt in the right corner of the field, and his presence was everywhere in that corner, both in the attacking side if Chelsea is going forward, and also deep as a defensive right back. And one thing he does very well in his primary role, he never actually missed it. Now, also, let's take a look at Marc Cucurella, one player that Chelsea can actually always count upon. Marc Cucurella is a reliable left back, winning possession and initiating attacking play. His presence was very much felt in that match yesterday. If you look at the hit mark of Marc Cucurella, you notice he was more in the attacking side. He was in the half side of AC Milan in the pitch, more attacking minded. Since Chelsea have taken total control of the game, and that was how it went down. Marc Cucurella, absolutely amazing. His presence was very much felt in the game. The next player we are going to look at is Trevor Chalobah, though substituted later in the game when he actually felt a hit on his knee, but his presence also was felt, having spread down to be the left back. Trevor Chalobah was absolutely also very much amazing in the game. His presence was definitely felt, and we think that the defense lines actually did very well yesterday. Okay, now let's take a look at the presence of Tosin Adarabioyo. Wow, it was wonderful to see. Tosin Adarabioyo was absolutely amazing yesterday. His presence was very much felt in the game. I mean, he was just everywhere. If you look at how Tosin actually played, he was composed and decisive in. He was composed and very decisive in defense. His recovery tackles was top-notch. One thing that amazed me, I was very much happy to see the captain handband on Tosin Adarabioyo, and that actually means he has been promoted in the team as a senior player. So when Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, and Moses Caicedo are not in the field when Chelsea is playing, Tosin Adarabioyo would definitely be the one to carry the captain armband. And it was very beautiful to see Tosin doing what he knows how to do best. Okay, and one player also I want to talk about in that game yesterday was the ever-presence of none other than Moses Caicedo. Now, Moses Caicedo is one defensive midfielder that you cannot take away his dominance when it comes to Chelsea defensive role. Dominated the midfield with his energy and defensive presence. Moses Caicedo was everywhere, giving that desired shield that the defense line actually needed. If you look at the heat map of Moses Caicedo, he stamped his presence in the middle of the park, giving shield to the defense line, and Chelsea was in total control of the game. All thanks to Moses Caicedo. One good thing he does very well, he actually wins tackles effortlessly, and it was beautiful seeing Moses Caicedo doing what he knows how to do very, very well. Now, those are just a couple of players I wanted to highlight. Generally, you talk about Cole Palmer, you talk about Pedro Neto, you talk about Jimmy Gittins, and you talk about also Joao Pedro. All of these players in the first half of the game did absolutely amazing. Joao Pedro his goal was absolute. Now that means he has scored in 2 consecutive goals. He has scored in 2 consecutive matches in the preseason, the brief preseason that Chelsea actually had. And it was beautiful to see. And one thing I must say here is the joy I have in me is seeing those players coming alive despite having a very short break, a very short holiday after the Club World Cup final. They came back fully fit, sharp, confident, and they are playing. The compatibility in the team was something very much amazing, as if they never really went for break. It was beautiful to see. The first half of the game, the selection Enzo Maresca made was top-notch, and it was good to see those players connecting play beautifully. And going into the second half of the game, Enzo Maresca made 9 changes. The only player that was not substituted in that game was the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, and also Tosin Adarabioyo. Now, if you look at the foot map of the players with their jerseys number indicating how the players were playing, this is the second half foot map with 9 players change. With 9 players change. If you look at this, it was the substitute Enzo Maresca made was like for like, but the presence of Tosin Adarabioyo was still there. Even the substitute maintained the same tactical play, all pushing AC Milan to the back, and we're pressing them high. One player I actually did not give credit to in the first half analysis I made was Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez's presence was very much felt in the midfield. He always tried to maintain the tempo of play. Now, in the second half, Enzo Maresca made the changes. He substituted about 8 or 9 players, likes for like. Malo Gusto came in for Reece James. George Atrempong came in for Trevor Chalobah. Jorel Ato actually later came on for Mark Cucurella. And Jimmy Gittins was substituted. Estavo William came in for Cole Palmer. And lots of players were actually substituted in the game. A lot of players, about 9 players were substituted. I just know that the goalkeeper was not substituted, and Tosin Adarabioyo also were the 2 players that were not taken off in that encounter last night. But the message from this game, having watched Chelsea play yesterday, was the cohesiveness, the compatibility, the understanding, the connection between the players and how they play, and also the tempo at which Chelsea is actually playing. It was very beautiful to see. Some, like I said earlier, some will say it's just a preseason game. Let the EPL kick off. We'll definitely know how this will go. The only fear I will nurture in my heart as a Chelsea fan is that one thing might just be fatigue for the players, because they never actually had enough rest. They never really had enough rest. But I just believe that the squad depth, because both the players that started the game and those that came in as substitute, they were absolutely amazing. Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Marc Cucurella, Moses Caicedo, Reece James, Robert Sanchez. If you look at the maps, you know that Robert Sanchez was just resting in the goalpost, but he was solid and steady. And one thing about him, he had little to actually do, because the AC Milan were pushed backward by the tactical play of Chelsea. But one thing I must say was that it was beautiful to see Chelsea doing these things amazingly. And all I can say is Chelsea performance in that game yesterday. Chelsea performance shows depth, energy, and promising talent as they prepared for the season opener. And I must give credit to Enzo Maresca. And like I predicted in the match preview, the selection I saw yesterday is just likely to be the same player that might start our first EPL match against Crystal Palace in Stamford Bridge. So thank you very much for watching. Catch you in my next video. I really appreciate it. Bye.